Montana's Crown of the Continent, Glacier National Park. Part 3. The History of the Park. The rocks of Glacier National Park, America's 12th biggest national park, were formed more than 1 billion years ago. As discussed in the first episode of this mini-series, the rocks, moved over the area 1.6 billion years ago, were moved when the Rocky Mountains were developing their shape. Not much is known about the possible flora and fauna that lived in the area before the time, but more is known about the animals that lived in the area after the rock shifting stopped about 150 million years ago. Plants came to the area before animals did about 140 million years ago. Animals followed a short time later, following the plants. However, it was not until around 10,000 years ago that the first humans came to the area following the other animals. The first major tribes to populate the park were the Salish, Flathead, Kootenai, Shoshone, and Cheyenne tribes, which lived in relative peace. In the 1700s, a new tribe appeared, the Blackfeet Tribe. The Blackfeet Tribe took over most of the east side of the park and additionally some of the Great Plains area. The tribes implemented the resources in the area in multiple ways, some tribes such as the Blackfeet hunting for bison, some tribes such as the Salish looking for roots and berries up on the mountains, and some tribes such as the Kootenai even mining stone from the mountains. The first American people to reach the mountain area were Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, more commonly known as Lewis and Clark. While on a quest along the Marias River, their discovery course came within 50 miles of what would later be known as Glacier National Park. That expedition took place in 1906, decades before the first thorough expeditions ever explored beyond the mountains. In 1885, an explorer by the name of George Bird Grinnell and his friend James Willard Schultz went on an expedition of the park area. Grinnell liked the area so much that he spent 20 years trying to make it into a national park. In a report he wrote in 1901, Grinnell described the area as the crown of the continent due to its protected wildlife and scenery. In 1891, the Great Northern finished work on a railroad going across the Continental Divide near where the park's southern border would soon be. To get people to travel via rail on their trains, they began advertising the natural scenery of the area, as well as petitioning Congress to make it into a park. In 1897, their efforts paid off and the land that had been sold to the U.S. by the Blackfeet in 1895 was turned into a forest preserve. However, some people still felt that making the area into a forest preserve was not enough and lobbied to make it a national park instead. A bill was introduced, and on the 11th of May in 1910, William Howard Taft signed the bill that officially made the forest preserve into a national park. As soon as the area was designated a national park, the president of the Great Northern Railway set about making hotels and chalets to attract visitors. The hotels never got any significant income, but the railroad going to the park got a lot of customers. However, in the 1920s and 1930s, people began to rely more on cars. Construction began on a new road, a road for cars, named the Going to the Sun Road. The road spanned the whole park and was finished by 1932. Since then, the park has had many small renovations over the years, but nothing significant has been changed about the park. Glacier National Park has also been declared a World Heritage Site in 1995 and a Biosphere Reserve in 1976. Thank you for watching this video, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, click the like button, favorite the video, or you could even subscribe. And if you didn't see the other two videos that are part of this mini-series, I suggest watching them too.